tell us what the feeling was coming into the day and what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a whirlwind. Found out last night that I was going to be coming here. Got on a flight last night. Got here at 2 a.m. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to process it. Just tried to stay within myself and do what I knew how to do. I think a lot of it was just trying to get ahead early, force guys to swing the bat. Obviously, they swung early. A couple times they hit the ball pretty hard, but for the most part, was able to limit damage. Really going into today is just about trying to go as deep as I can in this game. Save some guys' arms from having to throw multiple days. So.
It is final drive time, and I know Chris is pretty excited about a former King 5 Sports Prep Zone athlete, Ian J.R. Ritchie, pitching for the Braves, makes his major league debut last night, Chris, and man, that's pretty strong. Gives up a home run in his first at bat and then just buckles down.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, after that home run, I think people were a little nervous. We featured him first here on King 5 Sports Ball back in 2022. Made his debut for the Braves yesterday. Became the first pitcher in Braves history to go 7+ innings, give up 2 or fewer runs, with 7 or more strikeouts in his major league debut. And Paul, think about the Braves organization, Maddox, Smoltz, Glavine. They've had a few good pitchers for the Braves.
Yeah, I mean, to put yourself in the Braves history book with that is pretty impressive, man. I love the fact that he gave up a home run right away. And it just like woke him up or shook his cage. And he just bared down, man. That's impressive.
And he was one of the high school athletes that kind of had to battle through the COVID times. I remember Bainbridge High School had probably their best high school team ever, and then COVID shut down that season. And you know what? He just found a way, kept working on his trait, kept working on his art, working with his pitches. We went over to Bainbridge Island to watch him pitch, the late Alan Reed and I, and just we could see it at an early age, but it's still a process, Paul. That was back in 2022 when there was so much hype about this young man, and here in 2026, making his debut and looking awfully good.
Yeah, so many times you see these young guys and they work their way through the minor league system. Some guys take 8, 9, 10 years to get to the majors, and that's a great story in itself about, just diligence and sticking after it. But when you see a young guy like him get after it and be successful out of the gate, it's very impressive. So, because there's so much that goes on. These guys, I mean, you look at Ryan Sloan. Mariners are so high on this young kid, yet he's in Double-A right now, and he's not doing well. He's struggling a little bit down there. Yet when we talked about Ryan Sloan in the preseason, we thought, man, this guy's going to jump up for sure and get a shot at some point in 2026.
Well, interesting point for any parents watching right now. If you got a high school kid, how does your youngster react when things aren't going well? I remember a college coach telling me that he loves to actually watch pitchers when something goes wrong out in the field. Maybe there's an error. Maybe your third baseman makes an error. Maybe your outfielder drops him. This college coach says he goes right to the pitcher to watch his eyes. How is he going to react when something doesn't go well? And that will tell him if he can work with this kid or not. So interesting little point. And Sloan's had some troubles, but he'll be fine. I think, Paul, the question is, will we be fine? Will we finally hit a big bet? Will we get enough money to go watch FIFA World Cup?
No, I guarantee you we won't. And I know they're struggling a little bit. They had this optimism and anticipation they're going to sell a ton of tickets to the World Cup. And let's face it, right now, the World Cup tickets they're struggling to get some interest because we know soccer in this country is still growing and still expanding. But look at the price for the Final Four and the finals tickets. 4 tickets for $2.3 million each. If you want to see the World Cup final, $2.3 million each.
Why?
Well, because soccer is still the world's most popular sport.
Who's paying that much, though, Paul?
I know, man, but it's ridiculous how many viewers are going to take in the entire tournament, especially the World Cup final. We throw out Super Bowl viewership every year, and you forget that World Cup viewership dwarfs it.
Well, and I do love this about the World Cup is you're going to have a lot of parties going on. And, I remember watching a World Cup game. I think it was at 3 a.m. I went to a house, and the place was just packed to the rafters as they're cheering on their home country. So it's fun. And it's going to be coming here to Seattle too, Paul. So get ready for the excitement.
Yeah, and they're going to have the U.S. team is going to be here for one match, which is very cool. I know people have bought those tickets and were lined up ready.